straight shooter, if you know what I mean. Dishing out the truth about the royal scene with a fist of fire and a voice so keen. Hitting hard with those altar bridge vibes, no sugarcoating, no false alibis. Tearing down the lies she despises. Yorkshire lass with fire in her eyes. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. In a sea of fake, she's a beacon bright, unraveling the drama without a fright. Armored with honesty, ready to fight. Injustice quivers at her sight. Unbreakable will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. Will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. And yes, we are starting off with breaking news. Meghan Markle has delayed her Netflix show with Love Meghan, but this also exposes her hypocrisy. So stay tuned for those watching on the replay. Fast forward 5-10 minutes and I will have started the main topic of the day. But guys, just to give you a little bit of a rundown of what's going to happen for today's Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition for Sunday, the 12th of January 2025. First and foremost, oh my goodness, yes. Has this show ultimately been cancelled, guys? Oh yeah, we've got some thoughts to be discussing about that. Could this delay just be a hop, skip and jump away from this show actually never, ever seeing the light of day? We're going to discuss that. Then next up, this is an interesting question. Did Megxie tip off TMZ that she was attending the LA fire relief effort? I'm just asking for a friend when I can get my teeth back in. You guys can decide. I'll show you the information. You guys can decide on that. And then after that, oh my goodness, the lady that Megxie was caught on camera hugging while she was attending this LA fire relief effort, was that a fake victim planted? Again, I'm just asking for a friend. I'll give you the information. You guys can decide on that. Then, oh my goodness, let's get on to some Prince Hazard news, because it's being reported by Radar Online that he's now being cut out of King Charles's will. The royal family do not want him to get any money from them whatsoever, and he may be on the hook for losing $35 million inheritance from King Charles. What's going on? That'll be the fourth topic of today. And then finally, we go back to Megsy and, oh my goodness, the Hollywood Reporter rearing their heads once again, destroying Megsy in a new Netflix expose. So yes, we have a packed itinerary for today's Daily Nerd Live for Sunday, the 12th of January, 2025. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuning in, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Please make sure on your way out you do subscribe to join our alternate tribe, like, share, and comment down below on the replay your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever, because I know you guys have got some opinions. Looking at the live chat so far, my goodness, you guys are going nuts in the chat. Keep it going, keep it going. And just as an extra little thank you so much to everyone that has literally supported the expansion of the Ultiverse. Because yes, Political Nerds has officially launched with content. And oh my goodness, we are already 2,000 political nerds strong. Yes. And yeah, we may already be next level YouTube legit. YouTube is just making sure that all the statistics behind the scenes are kosher. They're doing the due diligence. But yeah, it looks like I'm expecting in the next couple of days that we should be getting an email from YouTube saying, yeah, you're next level YouTube legit. So when that happens, I will let you guys know and we can celebrate. But thank you again to everyone that has subscribed and supported me over on Political Nerds. If you haven't done so already, the link is in the description bar below. With that being said, a couple of thank yous before we kick off with the breaking news. First and foremost, Aussie Woman 581, thank you so much for the $3.99 sugar bucks, ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. And my favourite, the Ginger Doggy Pie Nights moment. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for sending that before the stream even began. We also have Carly Power in the house, being a leader for 4 months. Thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership. Saying 4-month newbie, woohoo, and I'm half Yorkshire too. I salute you, Carly, half Yorkshire. There you go. That'll do for me, lass. That'll do for me. And thank you so much for being part of the leadership. I hope you actually join us because straight after this stream, the leader-only stream will be commencing. And it's the only time you guys get to actually call in and we get to discuss all the misadventures of the gruesome twosome. So yeah, Carly, hopefully you'll be able to make it in the leader-only stream that's going to be happening straight after this live stream. We also have Aussie Woman 581 coming in and being like, I know you love your ginger doggy, but I'm also going to do a double whammy and give one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of Aussie Woman 581. Who else is going to jump in and actually kick off today's gifting wars by responding to Aussie Woman 581? Guys, we may soon find out. We may soon find out. Also, as well, we have Lisa Gibbs. Thank you so much for the £10 sugar bucks. Ruining a lot of sugar's days by sending a shiz ton of sugar bucks my ways. I'm really grateful for that, Lisa. Thank you so much. No comment. Just thank you for your donation. Well, thank you for your support. It's very generous of you. Thank you so much. We also have Mum of Two coming in with a $1.99 sugar bucks. And again, my favourite, the Ginger Doggy Fighting Ass moment. I love it. And I'm able to show you this one, guys. For those that are uninitiated, this is a ginger doggy. There are hearts coming from the tail. When you lift the tail from the doggy, what's directly underneath? The butthole. Therefore, this is a ginger doggy fighting arts moment. You'll never be able to ever unsee it ever again. You're welcome. And we also have Gunner Girl in the chat. Thank you so much for your support for the leadership for 18 months. Absolutely epic. Saying, I absolutely love seeing you grow and so very happy, my friend. Well, thank you so much, Gunner Girl. But guys, it ain't just going to stop with political nerds. Oh, no. We also have fitness nerds on deck as well, ready to launch with new content. That's going to be taking a little longer than I originally anticipated because of, as I explained last week, personal changes behind the scenes, but Fitness Nerds is still going to come in strong, so please bear with me on that one, guys. With that being said, everyone, I will get to you as and when I can. If anyone sends any sugar bucks, jumps into today's gifting wars, your leader only chats, I will get to you guys as and when I can. Whilst I kick off the first topic of the day, which is breaking news. Meghan Markle has delayed her Netflix show, which is exposing her hypocrisy. What the deuce is going on? Yeah, we're going to get into that. Just as a little bit of a short note, when I can get my teeth back in and clear my throat a little bit. I do read your messages, all your super thanks for my videos. I'll be responding to them for this month next week, so that's in hand. But I have had some messages come through in the comments saying that, you know, my volume in terms of how I sound is quite low and you want me to speak up. Now, that's all to do with my sound levels that have been a little bit off. So I have looked into it and hopefully I've fixed my sound levels. So guys, if my sound is good now, can you please let me know in the live chat? Okay, with that being said, Mic Drop Lisa says, yay, my playlist worked. Thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks. But yeah, what Mic Drop Lisa is referring to there is she was like, oh, I'll put the Political Nerds playlist on repeat to build up your watch hours kind of situation. Yeah, it definitely worked, Mic Drop Lisa. Thank you so much. And Mic Drop Lisa, hopefully you should be around for right after this live stream because we're going to be doing the leader only stream. So hopefully I'll be able to see you there. But oh my goodness, is Lewis in the chat? Hey up, Lewis, how's it going? And everyone's saying that the sound is great, so that's absolutely fantastic. Right, let's kick off with the breaking news. Megxie has delayed her Netflix show, but does this expose her hypocrisy? Oh my goodness, we're going to get into it right now. Now, for those that are like, the show hasn't been delayed, because I've had at least one message saying, the show hasn't been delayed. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Here's the receipt right here, okay? Netflix saying the release of With Love, Meghan has been moved from its previously announced January premiere date to March the 4th, as we focus on the needs of those impacted by the wildfires in my home state of California, says Megxie. And so here we've got the full statement from Netflix. And so, at the request of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and with the full support of Netflix, the release of the show, a heartfelt tribute to the beauty of Southern California, has been moved from its previously announced January premiere date, which was originally the 15th, to March the 4th, due to the ongoing devastation caused by the LA wildfires. Meghan says, I'm thankful to my partners at Netflix for supporting me in delaying the launch, as we focus on the needs of those impacted by the wildfires in my home state of California. Then it goes on to say, read on to find everything you need to know about With Love Meghan, produced by Meghan with Love. Meghan blends practical how-tos and candid conversation with friends, new and old. Meghan shares personal tips and tricks in embracing playfulness over perfection. Yeah, whatever. Highlights how easy it can be to create beauty, even in the unexpected. She and her guests roll up their sleeves in the kitchen, the garden and beyond, and invite you to do the same. Yeah, all right. Like, I'm going to do that. Now, this is the thing, right? I'm going to get on to the internet's reaction in a moment to all of this, because it is quite brutal, which is to be expected, right? However, sorry, let me clear my throat again. I'm going to go a little bit against the grain here, I have to admit. I actually applaud Meghan for doing this. I actually do, right? I actually do. Because with all the wildfires going around, this, that, and the other, right? There was a lot of chat, I think, saying the same thing, which is, okay, well, the wildfires are going on at the moment. This whole Megxie series is coming out at the wrong time. The wrong time. It'd be absolutely tone deaf if this series was released next week. And so Megxie has either listened to that feedback or has come to it on her own volition, whatever, and she's delayed her Netflix show. Actually, I'm sorry, But I'm going to be truthful with you guys, right? You all know I am not Team Sussex. I am not Megxie and Hazard's biggest fan. Let me put that straight to you. But I actually applaud Megxie for delaying the Netflix show. Whatever her reason is, whatever her motive is, whatever, the fact that she's delayed this show, do you know what? Hats off to her. Hats off to her for that, right? Okay. Now, this is the thing. This isn't just me that's, saying this, right, in a way. Now, originally, okay, on this Daily Nerd live stream, I was going to do a section on this article here. And the question was, actually, is Netflix going to pull Megxie's show? Is Megxie's show going to be cancelled by Netflix? Because you had PR and royal experts question the timing of this whole thing in the first place, right? Saying that it should be postponed whilst the wildfires are absolutely decimating LA. And so here you've got UK and brand culture expert Nick Eade pointing to the decision to cancel or delay dozens of Hollywood premieres and award ceremonies, saying, I think Netflix bosses will be having to make some big decisions as to whether to air with Love Meghan in the next week. With the show being so centred on California life, LA Montecito, providing a glimpse into aspirational and inspirational living, I suspect it will be pulled from its current schedule and delayed for at least a few months, saying it'd be a positive move for both Megxie and Netflix, as to air it during such a tragic and difficult time would come across as insensitive and tone deaf. Saying a show like Meghan's isn't time sensitive, so it means it can be aired later down the line. We know how important the community is to both Meghan and Harry, and the last thing they would want would be a backlash due to the show airing when they are currently going above and beyond to support those in need at this time. Now, stay tuned for the rest of this live stream, okay? Because I've got a couple of segments here in terms of their whole visit to the LA fire relief effort situation, and it's going to knock your socks off, I'm telling you. You think they couldn't get any lower? Oof. Just you wait. But this is the thing. Think about it. If the series went ahead next week, there would be a huge backlash because of the timing of it all. Simply because of where the series is based and the place that the series is promoting, which is LA, Montecito, Santa Barbara, all that lot. So again, I applaud Megxie for actually delaying this thing. Whether she actually did it or not, who knows, right? Whether it was Netflix that strong-armed her, who knows? But in Netflix's statement that I just went through with you, they say Megxie wanted to delay it with Netflix's support. They're delaying it. I can only go on that, right? But yeah, Phil Dampier, the author of Royally Suited, said, look, the timing of Meghan's Netflix show could hardly be worse, as hundreds of thousands of people have lost their homes in the terrible fires. The last thing anyone is interested in is a program about having friends round to eat canapes or arrange flowers when the city is going up in flames and people have lost everything. So let me get this straight, okay? Whether it was Megxie that actually decided to postpone this thing or Netflix, I'm only going with the idea that Meghan postponed it. She put the idea to Netflix to postpone it because that's what Netflix has said, right, in their statement that I went through. So with that being said, Megxie postponing this Netflix show? Yeah. Fair play. She's done the right thing as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, she's done the right thing. Because if this series actually went ahead next week, she would get torn to shreds. Now, I'm going to get on to how delaying this Netflix show Megxie is exposed to hypocrisy. And I'm going to get onto that in a moment. There has been a couple of instances of support coming my way whilst I'm going through this particular story. First and foremost, Froggy Girl. Hey up, Froggy Girl. Thank you so much for the $10 sugar bucks. Ruining a sugar's day by sending a shiz ton of sugar bucks my way. Thank you so much. Saying I tagged you in a Twitter post. Refused to use the new name. I refuse to use it as well. With a link to an article praising Megxie and Hazard for opening their mansion to family and friends and handing out food. Yeah, I saw that tag. I'm on it. Foggy Girl. Thank you so much. Also, as well, we have Gunner Girl in the chat. Hey up, Gunner Girl. How's it going? With the $5 sugar bucks. Ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. And it's the ginger doggy laughing. Yeah. Now, let's get on to the hypocrisy of it all, okay? How Megxie delaying this Netflix show actually exposes her hypocrisy. And all props, right? All credit actually goes to Dan Wooten. And so Dan Wooten makes a really good point here, saying Meghan Markle in 2021 wouldn't delay the Oprah Winfrey royal racist interview even as Prince Philip lay dying in hospital. Meghan Markle 2025 hastily postpones car crash new Netflix series by 2 months after going viral for crass disaster tourism in wake of LA wildfires. We see her. Now, this is the thing, and let me be completely balanced here, yeah? Again, do I think it's the right thing that Megxie delayed this Netflix show? Hell yeah, because the timing is just so awful and inappropriate, it's untrue. So she's done the right thing. However, it has exposed her hypocrisy because the other right thing that she should have done back in 2021 was delay the Oprah Winfrey interview from actually being shown on TV and whatnot. Because at the time, yeah, Prince Philip was in hospital. So this is an excerpt from the Express saying, indeed, Prince Philip was actually in hospital recovering from heart surgery when the programme was on. He was first admitted to King Edward VII Hospital on February the 16th of that year. The palace said was a precautionary measure after he felt unwell. On February 23rd, it was confirmed by the palace that he was being treated for an infection. March the 1st, he was then transferred to St Bartholomew's Hospital to continue treatment. He went through a successful heart operation on March the 3rd, transferred back to King Edward VII Hospital on March the 5th. On March the 7th, just 4 days after his surgery, Megxie and Hazard's Oprah interview was aired in America, then in the UK the following night. He'll have likely been in a fragile state, and watching the interview, which was explosive, may have caused him to get worked up. And so the royal family at the time tried to keep this interview away from him, which probably didn't work because we all know that back in the day, Prince Philip was very headstrong, and if he wanted to do something, he's going to do it no matter what. No matter what. Now, again, Dan Wooten has a really good point here because even though it's the right thing that Megxie delayed this Netflix show, it does expose her hypocrisy because she didn't delay the Oprah Winfrey interview back in 2021 when she really should have. Highly inappropriate to release that interview as to how, with how explosive it was and how nasty it was towards the royal family, whilst Prince Philip was in hospital, essentially, on his unfortunate deathbed at that point. Now, you could go the other way, right? And you could say, well, yeah, okay, it shows her hypocrisy, but maybe she learned a lesson from the Oprah interview and, decided this time, that it was definitely bad timing. And so she pulled the series, this, that, and the other, right? You could say that. But then how about all the other times that she's done something to try and overshadow the royal family or dig into them in some kind of way, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. You see where I'm coming from? And so, the reaction on the internet to this Netflix show being delayed, oh my goodness, absolutely brutal towards Megxie, and understandably so, and is to be expected, right? So here we have Meghan Markle parody at Queen of Memes 80, saying, is anyone else seeing the pattern here? Meghan's cooking show got delayed again, and once again, it's the perfect storm of bad timing and bad decisions. She gets slammed with scathing feedback, throws a tantrum, and now Netflix is hiding behind the wildfires as an excuse for the delay. Netflix nutless execs caved to her demands for a do-over, likely terrified of her diva tantrums. and are now scrambling to cover their tracks. But here's the thing. No amount of rebranding is going to fix this. Megxie has no talent, no authenticity, and nothing people actually want to watch, except for second-hand embarrassment and comedic relief. This cooking show was doomed from the start. All she's cooking up is whitewashed privileged and the same tired victim narratives. Netflix execs are acting like a bunch of spineless soy boys, trying to placate a woman who couldn't deliver a good show if her life depended on it. Wake up, Netflix. Cut your losses and boot the harlot. This one's over before it even started. And I do agree. I mean, no matter when she releases this thing, it's going to fail. And I'll explain why in a moment. Let me just get through some messages of support here. Thank you so much to Nita Oliver. Hey up, Nita. Sending a £10 sugar bucks. Ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way, saying, ooh, Megxie, make my brain hurt. I know, tell me about it. And we also have Stephen Magnus in the chat. Hey up, Stephen. Gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of Stephen Magnus. And that only means one thing, guys. Today's gifting wars for this stream have officially begun. So thank you so much to Stephen Magnus for kicking off today's gifting wars. That takes us to a whopping 2 new leaders for today's stream. Who else is going to pick up that sword and shield and take us to a whopping 5 new leaders for today's stream? We're only just 3 more away. Who's going to help us get there? And remember, the leader-only stream is happening straight after this one. So if you don't want to miss out on the only time you guys are able to call in to discuss all the misadventures of the gruesome twosome, you guys know what to do. With that being said, let's get back to the rest of the reaction here. So we've got Royal News Network at RNN_Royal News. Brittany saying, so Megxie caved and decided to delay the release of a series to March the 4th, which means she can furiously edit to perhaps minimise the backlash. She apparently shared with someone, I'm thankful to my partners at Netflix for supporting me in delaying the launch as we focus on the needs of those impacted by the wildfires in my home state of California. Brittany then says, personally, I think she should have risked it. Yes, the series does feature California, but she also had an opportunity to allow the media to bury it if it bombs between the wildfires and the presidential inauguration. Now the disaster will be dragged out, and who knows what will happen between now and then. There could be another disaster around that time too. Then what will she do? Also, Netflix is an international brand. And yes, the fires are horrifically devastating, but they also are a local situation. There are billions of people in the world who will not be impacted and ready to watch in the glooms of January. The only advantage is that it's closer to spring, so the setting of the show makes more sense, and it gives her a chance to maybe finally secure the patents. That's the more cynical view. Yes, I agree, that's the more cynical view. The thing is, though, this show is anticipated on a global scale. And the wildfires, the news of the LA wildfires is reaching over here as well. We're seeing it on the news every single day. The pictures, the videos, everything. It's horrific, absolutely horrific. And it's... don't take this the wrong way. It's kind of super horrific for me because it was only just a year ago that I was there, first and foremost. And all these places that the fire is decimating, some of those places I've been to. And to know what they were like personally before, to seeing them now after they've been decimated, it breaks me heart. And it's super horrific for me because I have quite a few friends over in LA. I'm in regular contact with them. How are they doing? Do they need anything? The whole lot. And so I see Brittany's point, but I think the backlash would have been more global if she released the series next week. Before we get on to the final reaction from the internet that I found, Shelby Marchetti, thank you so much for the $9.99 sugar bucks, ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. With Mr. Game Console saying level up. Yes, level up indeed. My goodness. And we also have Royal Tarot Readings by Pilot Gal with a $10 sugar bucks, ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. Saying, I did a tarot reading on this last week before the fires and predicted the show wouldn't air. I was surprised, but the cards never lie. Wow. Ooh. Royal Tarot readings. Can you email me? StefTheAlternerd@gmail.com. Have a question. Can you email me? My email is in all my description bars in every single video and live stream down below. But yeah, Royal Tarot readings, please, if it's all right with you, please email me. I have a question. With that being said, let's get on to this reaction here from Sonia Patterson, Spirit Bear to you, saying Meghan postpones a cooking show to add tributes to California and Meghan's connection to the state. Well, if that isn't grifting off the misfortune of those who are victims to the fire in California, I will eat my hat. Some people feel that it's a grift. But what do you guys think? I mean, ultimately, right, I can only go on, okay, what Netflix is saying here, saying that Megxie requested the release of the show to be delayed. All right? Now, whether Megxie requested this or not, whether it were Megxie that went up to Netflix to say this show's going to be delayed, or Netflix turned around to Megxie and said this show's going to be delayed, first and foremost, it's a good idea that this show's delayed. All right? It's definitely a good idea that this show's delayed. And if it is Megxie that actually made the proactive effort to delay this show, then hats off to her. She did the right thing. She did the right thing to delay the Netflix show. Because if it continued for next week, she would have absolutely been torn apart. Because at the end of the day, it would have been bad timing. Now, regardless of her intent as to why she delayed this show, if you're to believe Netflix here, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if she did it for selfish reasons. Doesn't matter if she did it for nefarious reasons as far as I'm concerned. The fact of the matter is, Netflix is saying she went to them to delay the show and Netflix agreed. If we are to take that as read, as we to take that as truth, Megxie did the right thing. All right? And again, let me be very clear. I am not Megxie and Hazard's biggest fan. I am not part of the Sussex squad. All right? Let me be very, very, clear on that. That you see my whole video library and it's very obvious I'm not their biggest fan. However, I do have integrity. And I'll call a spade, and I'll always tell you guys what I think, truthfully, of these Megxie and Hazard stories. However, on the flip side of things, her delaying this show definitely exposes her hypocrisy. Because she should have done the same thing with the Oprah Winfrey interview back in 2021, whilst Prince Philip was laying on his deathbed. Dan Wooten's got a point here, a very, very strong point. Now, you could argue, well, she learned from the Oprah interview and so postponed this series instead. Okay. But then what about all the other events that she's done over the last few years that have completely overshadowed and attacked the royal family at a time when the royal family were trying to do something, right? Oh my goodness, guys. I think this is going to be rolling on and on and on and on and on. With that being said, guys, that is the first topic for today's Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. Next up, I'm going to be discussing, did Meghan Markle tip off TMZ that she was attending the LA fire relief effort? Oh my goodness. Guys, stay tuned for that. I'll be discussing that in a moment. With that being said, we do have a little bit of support that's come through. First and foremost, Neil, thank you so much for gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of Neil. Appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. With that being said, guys, yeah, let's get into the second topic. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and I'm recording this live for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition, Sunday the 12th of January 2025, and in today's segment, I'm going to be discussing, I'm really asking a question. Did Meghan Markle tip off TMZ that she was attending the LA fire relief effort? I'm just asking the question, guys. I'm going to give you the information and you guys can decide the answer to it. Now, first and foremost, here we have their mouthpiece, People magazine, saying that essentially that they understood that Hazard and Megxie wanted to focus on discreetly supporting the relief efforts. So here they say that Hazard and Megxie are doing their part to help those impacted by the deadly wildfires in Southern California. And so they went and visited the World Central Kitchen in Pasadena to help distribute food and supplies to victims of the Eaton fire. This Friday just passed. People understands that they focused on discreetly supporting wildfire relief efforts, witnessing both harrowing stories and strong community spirit. They donated essential supplies, served meals with World Central Kitchen, and connected with affected families and elderly individuals. Now, this is the thing, right, guys? Let me be, again, honest on this. Hazard and Megxie going to the LA fire relief effort and trying to help out, yeah, with food, clothing, whatever, again, snaps to them on that one. Because as I said earlier on this week, when they released that statement on their Sussex website, the statement signposted people for where they could get support and help, which is great. Signposting is great. But my criticism was, well, hang on a minute. Don't just signpost, do something yourself. You're going to turn around and say, show up and do good. Well, where's Hazard and Megxie showing up and doing good in this whole situation, right? Where are their donations? Where are they trying to help with the food and the clothes and all that lot, right? Well, they did it, okay? They did. They went this past Friday, donated essential supplies, served meals, all that lot, right? And people said that they focused on discreetly supporting the wildfire relief efforts. However, no. They didn't focus on discreetly supporting the wild relief efforts. Why? Because the cameras were freaking there, guys. The cameras were there. And so here, we've got, thanks to Michelle0918 for sharing Genevieve's tweet here. And so, yeah, this is from Neil Sean, okay? And yeah, let's just listen to what Neil Sean had to say about this.
It can't be helped, of course, as many people think, by two micro-celebrities suddenly jumping up and hijacking the situation. Now, here's what I can tell you, because as many people know, I work for a few channels over in the US, and they were tipped off in advance that Harry and Meghan were going to be attending.
Neil Sean, he works in the mainstream media business. He has a buttload of contacts, and they're all saying they all got tipped off that Hazard and Megxie were going to attend this relief effort. They all got tipped off. Every single one of them.
As ever, I have to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Main contender seems to be, of course, the giant TMZ, who seemingly had some kind of camera crew there. Not quite sure exactly their relationship with Harry and Meghan. But here's where it gets really confusing, because consequently a lot of people are saying, well, why did they go down there anyway? Now, if you want to be kind, you could say that they were very concerned, very moved, and allegedly they've offered some donation. Now, this is also counterproductive, because the other side of it is that people are saying they've offered a donation, but, you know, really, I mean, who could offer any donation in that level? Now, we're told also, aren't we, that they've opened their door to family and friends, those that are now without, and they're asking people via their website, and we told you all of that. And I told you also it would have been far more effective had she done that on her big Instagram account, far more people to reach. But seemingly, Meghan and Harry have now got something of a backlash. This is because of this particular footage. As you can see, they were trailed around by a camera crew. And then seemingly the person that they were hugging and offering such a counterpart to, allegedly now looks like a member of staff. I mean, why would they be walking out together? It doesn't really...
Now, we'll be getting onto that in the next segment, okay? Did Megxie, again, just asking a question, did Megxie plan a fake victim in this whole PR attending LA fires relief effort stunt? Okay, so stay tuned for that segment. But you've got Neil Sean here turning around and saying, he's got contacts who allegedly are saying that they were tipped off in advance that they were going to go there. And he singled out TMZ, saying that TMZ cameras were there. What the deuce, right? And if People magazine was so correct saying that Hazza and Megxie wanted to focus on discreetly supporting the wildfire relief efforts, then, you know, why are pictures all of a sudden being released by their team? As far as I'm concerned, it's from their team, right? And revealing the narc, hearts out to her at the moment, she's over there having a deal with what she has to deal with. I hope she's safe and I hope everything's all right. She says, look, if they did it anonymously, if they did it anonymously or wanting to focus on discreetly supporting the relief efforts, as People puts it, right, then she asks a really good question to Hazza and Megxie. Why are you broadcasting it on the news? Who do you think paid for these words to be spoken?
This is their second visit to today. We were here earlier today, and they were serving food anonymously.
Okay, so the Pasadena mayor here said that Hazza and Megxie were there earlier on today and serving food anonymously. Hold on to that thought, because I'm going to show you something that blows that out of the water.
No one knew they were serving food.
Okay. So, as far as I'm concerned, to be fair, what the mayor said there seems to have been potentially a lie, because here is Megxie caught on camera serving food. So the cameras were there. Look.
The Red Cross are providing food, water, and supplies. Newsom is, of course, the wife of California.
Jennifer Newsom, wife of the soon-to-be ex-governor of California, I'm sure of it. Literally stood next to Megxie right there. Megxie's right there.
Service officer for California.
No, it's all good and well going down there to serve food and help with the relief effort. Do not get it twisted. But then don't turn round via People magazine and say you wanted to focus on discreetly supporting the wild relief efforts when this is not discreetly supporting the wildfire relief efforts in the first place. This is doing it for PR as far as I'm concerned. Now, Lady C, she's weighed in on all of this, saying illuminating, isn't it? How Megxie and Hazza continue to pose and posture as royals as if they're entitled to an officially functioning court based in the US. Why are they hugging first responders and visiting fire-destroyed areas, hanging out with commoners, as Fox News anchor Susan Hirasuna put it? She then has a message from Mayor Gordo saying you're allowing yourself to be duped by a cynical couple as you further their self-glorifying agenda. If they were so caring, they wouldn't be playing to the cameras. They wouldn't be anywhere near the cameras. They'd be behind the scenes doing what charitable people do. You need to look at the way they treated his father, King Charles III, his stepmother, Queen Camilla, Prince of Wales, Princess Catherine, her father, Thomas Markle Sr., her sister Samantha, etc., to mention just a few of the victims of their kindness and generosity. If they really cared, they wouldn't be making announcements on social media about being caring while being cold and callous to those whom they should be honouring. Nor would they be posing for photographs which are geared towards promoting themselves as the humanitarians that every action shows they're not. They'd be helping out quietly, silently and financially behind the scenes, making sure no one knew of their efforts. But I forget, charity starts at home and home is where the heart is, and their bank accounts are. That is a scathing opinion from Lady C if ever I've seen one. I have to admit, I agree with the full lot of that stuff. Now, you even have Tribes Britannia saying that they believe this was Hazza and Megxie pretending to care. Saying, just like Uvalde, Hazza and Megxie turned up for 5 minutes, made sure the press were tipped off to get the shots, and then they left. They use disasters as PR photo ops and pretend to care. They are the most disgusting people. And the one thing that really, really, like, puts the hairs on my back of my neck stand up and makes my spine shiver is Megxie is seemingly wearing the same hat that she wore, I say allegedly, through that whole Uvalde stunt. Here we've got Stephanie Sidley, hashtag one tear left eye to go. I like that hashtag, to be fair. And you got according to Taz, saying the part they don't want you to see. The girl that Megxie was hugging is leaving with them, so she's clearly Stef. And we're going to get onto that in the next segment, okay? I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. But Taz then says, then you pan around to see that the TMZ photographer was allowed to follow them into the security closed off area to get the footage needed. Publicity vultures. Now, let's watch this, okay?
Right now, that says something. That speaks volumes to people in a way that is often unsaid. Just that simple act of kindness of providing people that are.
Wow. So we go back to the original question, which is, well, hang on a minute. If TMZ was able to follow them into the closed-off security area, this, that, and the other, wouldn't that stand to reason then to think that Megxie and Hazza had a pre-arranged agreement with TMZ so that they could be followed into the security area? Did Megxie tip off TMZ that she was attending the LA fires? And the relief effort for that. Now, this has ultimately backfired on TMZ in a big, massive way because this is the story that they produced in the end, right? Look at the ratio between the views and the likes. Views, 93,500. Likes, less than 1,000. Now, Hazza and Megxie, as far as I'm concerned, they could have done what they did without the publicity or the press finding out one way or another. Now, you've got one of the biggest publicity families on the planet, one of the biggest publicity-hungry families on the planet, the Kardashians, right? Guess what? They've helped. And we've only found out through other means. Here, you've got opinionated Russian at Cat's Big Opinion 2, saying you didn't hear about it from them, they didn't post about it, they didn't tell you about it, news agencies didn't report on it. Meghan and Harry can help in a billion ways without putting their name on it, but they won't help unless they get recognised for it. Thank you, Kardashians. And here you've got a dash viral on TikTok saying the Kardashians family donated food to several fire stations today to support them during the LA wildfires. Donation courtesy of the Kardashian family. Hazza and Megxie could have done what they did without the publicity or the press finding out. You've got one of the biggest publicity-hungry families on the planet, Kardashians, doing exactly that. Hazza and Megxie could have done the same thing. Because Hazza and Megxie could make the argument, well, you know, we didn't tip them off, but the press somehow still found out and, you know, we were screwed. There was naught we could do. Screw that. The press could have easily found out about the Kardashians helping, but they didn't because the Kardashians had the means to be able to keep this on the down low. Hazza and Megxie have the means to keep it on the down low as well, as far as I'm concerned. But also, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't. And so when you look at the whole situation, right, all the information that I've given you guys, okay, before we get on to the next subject, I'm just asking for a friend here. You guys can decide on your answer. Did Megxie tip off TMZ that she was attending the LA fires? With that being said, the next segment will be, did Megxie plant a fake victim in the LA fires PR stunt? Stay tuned for that. Again, I'm just asking for a friend. You guys can decide. But for those watching at the moment, please make sure you are subscribed to join our alternate tribe. Because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Everyone's watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. Okay, and that was the third segment. We'll be getting on to the fourth segment in a moment, which is, has Prince Harry just been cut out of King Charles's will and is losing a $35 million inheritance as a result? Megs is not going to be happy about that one. That is for sure. So stay tuned for that particular story. I'll be jumping into that in a moment. Tammy Jo Hosfield, though, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks. Ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. Saying, Steph from Snowy Montana, USA. Yes, she did. Gross. Okay. You're either saying, yes, you believe she planted the fake victim, or alleged fake victim, should I say, or you're saying yes to the notion that Megsy tipped off TMZ that she was attending the LA fires. Can you just kind of clarify which one you meant by that? Also, as well, oh my goodness, Mic Drop Lisa coming in the chat, gifting a whopping 5 leaderships to some of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our new leaders, courtesy of Mic Drop Lisa. I appreciate your face. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. With that being said, yes, let's get on to the next segment for today's live stream. Being reported, Prince Hazard is now being cut out of King Charles's will and is stand to lose upwards of a $35 million inheritance. Megs is definitely not going to like this one. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we, because it's been reported by Radar Online that Hazard has been cut out of King Charles's will and is going to be losing a $35 million inheritance. Who made that decision? What the deuce is going on? Well, let's jump into this article here, and you guys can tell me if you actually believe this or not. I actually think this is quite plausible. So let's get into it, okay? So King Charles is being persuaded, being pushed to kick Hazard from his will to prevent his turncoat son from getting his hands on the British monarchy's mega millions, according to Radar Online. And so a high-level palace insider has revealed to Radar Online, quote, a lot of people in royal circles feel Harry does not deserve a dime, and they're leaning on Charles to cut him off. And I do agree. Hazard does not deserve a penny from the royal family. Should be completely cut off, cut out, done and dusted, goodbye Vienna, sayonara, right? Now, we don't know what cancer King Charles has. It's never been confirmed. I'm not even going to speculate. But the insider has said that Charles wrote his will long ago, but certain family members and courtiers are strongly urging him to update the document so as to not include Harry. And in all honesty, after the way that Hazard has treated King Charles and the rest of the royal family, and King Charles' own mother and father, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, hell yeah, he should be cut out. Totally cut out. Hazard wants to be financially independent? Go nuts, Hazard. Be financially independent. You don't need that $35 million from King Charles's will. Now, apparently, Prince William is at the forefront of trying to push King Charles to cut Hazard out of his will, which to me makes sense there, okay? And so you've got Radar Online previously reporting that he has been on the outs with the royal family since 2020, that essentially the royal family have made steps throughout the years to cut Hazard out little by little, bit by bit. Now, the source has pointed out here, another source to Radar Online, saying there's still so much animosity towards Harry, it runs deep. It's the senior courtiers that will run the royal family's business and make the hard decisions. But they're not getting much resistance to this idea among the family. If the plot to disinherit the royal renegade goes ahead, a mole warns it will likely be the final nail in the coffin for any kind of reconciliation. To me, the final nail in the coffin for any kind of reconciliation has already been done 1,000 times over, really, at this point. At this point, it's done. It's done. Now, other sources are also suggesting that it's not Prince William that's also trying to ice Hazard out of King Charles's will, but potentially Queen Camilla as well. An insider saying she's made it her mission to protect King Charles from any sort of stress. And in her view, that's all Harry brings. It's now at a point where she's saying Charles shouldn't even be taking Harry's calls, that it would be bad for his stress levels and general anxiety. And so earlier last year, sources said that King Charles and Prince William torpedoed a plan to strip the Duke and Megxie of their royal titles for fear of public backlash. And I actually reported that on this channel right here. And even though I understand why they feel that there would be a backlash, if anything, I think their fears are very unfounded. They did strip Hazard and Megxie of their titles. They would be applauded. We would get the bunting out. The tea and biscuits and crumpets out, right? We'll be having street parties for freaking days, all right? For freaking days. So, to me, I understand why they may be fearful of doing it. Don't be fearful. Get it done. Strip the titles. Remove them. Please. It is definitely needed in this whole mess. Now, according to another palace source, bitterness over Hazard and Megxie's sense of entitlement is still simmering and is now threatening to boil over, saying, quote, the royals are nowhere near forgiving them and feel there should be some sort of punishment meted out, which is why this idea of cutting out of the will has got real legs. And so we know that when Hazard turned 40 last year, he got approximately, reportedly, $10 million from the Queen Mother, right? The Queen Mother's estate. Now, as I've reported earlier on this week, it looks like Hazard allegedly has turned around and told Megxie, hands off my money now, because you're using it for your failed projects and I'm sick and tired of it. If you didn't watch that video, check it out from earlier on this week. But yeah, the insider says William was not happy about Harry getting that money and even more upset about Megxie getting her hands on it. And so, yeah, this is the thing, right? There isn't a lot of time to figure this out, the source is saying. The royals hate the idea of Hazard getting anything from the Windsors and by proxy Megxie as well, right? So the feeling is that now's the time to put it down on paper. It's heartbreaking for everyone close to Charles. They're just trying to screen him from as much distress as possible, which again is understandable. And you can think, yeah, that's realistic that would happen, right? Totally realistic that would happen. But going round full circle, based on the information that Radar Online has just provided in this article, I can totally believe that there are people in the royal family, members of the royal family and courtiers that are having a word with King Charles. And I can totally believe that they are angling for King Charles to cut Prince Hazard out of his will altogether, so he doesn't get another dime, another penny from the royal family after everything that Hazard has done towards them. And Hazard now is on the hook for losing a $35 million inheritance. Karma can be a bitch, right? And this is definitely something Megxie would hate to see happen, right? With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you yet. Next on the itinerary, has Meghan Markle been destroyed by the Hollywood Reporter yet again in a new Netflix expose? Oh my goodness, we're going to be going through that for the final story for today's live. But for those watching this on the replay, if you haven't done so already, please, on your way out, subscribe to join the Alter Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Again, those watching on the live, stay exactly where you are. For everyone else, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your faces. Until the next time, laters. All right, so that was a segment discussing Prince Harry being cut out of King Charles's will and losing a $35 million inheritance. In the final segment for today's Daily Nerd Live, I'm going to be discussing how Meghan Markle has been destroyed by The Hollywood Reporter again in a new Netflix expose. What the deuce is going on? We're going to get onto that very, very shortly. I do have a couple of thank yous to make until we get onto the final story of today. Kazzy D, thank you so much for the £5 sugar bucks. Ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. Appreciate it. Mr. Greenblob saying, keep it up. Keep it up. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We also have Tammy Jo Hosfield just clarifying her super chat from earlier on, saying, oh, you believe to the tip off, right? You were saying, yes, I do believe Megsy tipped off TMZ. Okay, that's absolutely fair enough. Yo-Yo Me says the lady could have been all three, a victim, a volunteer, and an employee. Think about it. True. Could have been all three. Absolutely. Never thought about that. Thank you. Oh, you didn't have to do another super chat for it. I was looking out for your comment, Tammy Jo, but thank you so much anyway for the $2 sugar bucks. Saying, oh, she tipped off TMZ and you think she planted the victim as well. Oh, okay. Fair play. We also have Kizzy Arsenu. Oh my goodness, Kizzy, thank you so much for tuning in and becoming our newest leader. Everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, Kizzy. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much. We're already on to a whopping 9 new leaders for today's stream. We're just one more away from double figures. 10 new leaders for today's stream. So who's going to help us get there before this live stream ends in a few moments? We may soon find out. We may soon find out. And straight after this live stream, guys, there will be the leader-only stream. It's the only time you guys have the opportunity to call in and we discuss all the misadventures of the gruesome twosome. For those watching, you guys will be automatically redirected. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys afterwards. And yeah, I think you guys have a lot to say. That is for damn certain. With that being said, yes, next on the itinerary and to round off today's live stream, we're going to be discussing Megsy being destroyed yet again by The Hollywood Reporter in a new Netflix expose. Oh, let me explain. Let's do this. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this final story of the day, because Meghan Markle has been destroyed by The Hollywood Reporter yet again in a new Netflix expose. What the deuce is going on? Well, this is a little bit of a blink and you'll miss it moment from The Hollywood Reporter, I do have to admit, but oh my goodness, it's really scathing. And so here they're asking, is Meghan Markle's new cooking show her last chance at Netflix? Uh-oh. Now, we all know that her show has essentially now been delayed until March out of respect for the victims and the ongoing situation of the LA wildfires, which admittedly is the right thing to do. Whichever way you slice it, it's the right thing to do. Delay this series, right? For it not to air, as far as I'm concerned, whilst this tragedy is ongoing. So that's the right thing, yeah? But this Hollywood Reporter article that was released before that announcement, okay? So before it was announced that it was going to be delayed, all right? So bear that in mind. Says this is Meghan Markle's last stand in the kitchen. To paraphrase Winston Churchill, never in the history of streaming has so much been paid to so few for so little. But on January the 15th, with the debut of the much anticipated With Love Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will have perhaps one last chance to prove they're really worth the $100 million Netflix ponied up in that 20-25-year deal to produce and appear in shows and movies. So far, the couple's output has been less than majestic. So they're listing them right now. Hazza and Megsy was a hit. Absolutely. But the rest have been absolute bombs. You had Live to Lead that was then released a couple of weeks later that bombed. And the only reason I know about it is it existed because I have to know about the whole Hazard and Megsy world, right? Simple as that. But that bombed. And you'd be forgiven to think, what's Live to Lead? There wasn't much publicity surrounding it at all to the lead up of it being released. You've got Heart of Invictus that came out in 2023 that bombed. Didn't even make the top 10 in the UK and US. Megsy's animation, Pearl, was cancelled before it even went to production. Then you've got their most recent offering, Polo, which again bombed, failed to make the top 10 in the UK and US yet again. So yeah, this is Megsy's last stand in the kitchen. And so they're essentially saying here that all those programs that I've just mentioned here, they're saying they were royal flops. And say, look, sources inside the streamer insist there's optimism over Megsy's new show. A Sue Ann Nivens-like series in which the happy homemaker putters around the house, doling out cooking and gardening tips. For Hazard and Megsy, though, the stakes couldn't be higher. Their Netflix contract is almost up, and it's hard to imagine a renewal if With Love Meghan doesn't deliver. At least one enthusiastic Netflix insider, though, continues to curtsy for the couple, saying there'll be future opportunities, saying this isn't the end, this is just the beginning. Now here, the Hollywood Reporter's being totally snarky. You know, saying here right at the end, a Netflix insider continues to curtsy for the couple. Oh, that is totally like snark FM if I've ever heard it, right? Saying here that she's a happy homemaker. She ain't a happy homemaker. Reports are in that she doesn't do her own food. She hires people to do stuff for her. Come on. She can't homemake to save her life. You got the Hollywood Reporter literally then pointing out earlier on in this every single thing that has bombed for Netflix from the gruesome twosome. And having the last chance to prove they're really worth the 100 million, as in, at the moment, they've proved that they're worth less than shiz. They're not worth the 100 million. They're not worth the paper the contract was freaking signed on. So here there's this blink and you'll miss it kind of little bit from the Hollywood Reporter. But to me, oh my goodness, Megsy just got destroyed by the Hollywood Reporter yet again in this Netflix expose. Because I tell you something, yeah, this is Megsy's last chance at Netflix. Megsy's last stand when it comes to proving herself with Netflix is in the kitchen. I don't think it's going to pan out well at all when this thing is finally released in March. Because again, let me be very clear on this. This article was released from the Hollywood Reporter before it was announced by Megsy and Netflix that they were delaying the release of this series. It was originally going to be released on 15th of January. It's now going to be released beginning of March. With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I ain't done with you yet. But for those watching on the replay, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to join our Alt and Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatevers. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right. Right, guys, and so that was your fill for this week's Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. Thank you so much to everyone that tuned in live. I really appreciate your faces. Thank you so much. On your way out, please make sure you are subscribed to join our Alternate Tribe. Like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much to everyone that liked this video, this stream, that gave me the thumbs up. Thank you to also everyone that kept me company in the live chat. You guys are awesome. Extra special thanks to those that were generous enough and able enough to be able to send me some sugar bucks or jump into today's gifting wars. You guys are amazing. Straight after this live stream, we're going to be doing the leader only stream. I'm putting the link in the live chat right now. So if you are a leader, join me there in a few moments. It's the only time you guys are able to call in and we get to discuss all the misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Oh my goodness. I think this one's going to be fun, guys. With that being said, a couple of thank yous before we go. Anna Chidoni, thank you so much for the $5 sugar bucks, ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way, saying, I don't think I can stomach them two any longer. They're really disgusting and everything about them is a lie. I definitely see them a little bit with a side eye. That is for damn certain as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, thank you so much, Anna, for those last little bits of the sugar bucks right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your faces. Leaders, I will see you in a moment in the leader only stream. You'll be redirected anyway from this live stream, but just in case, I'm going to put the link in the live chat for a final time. Thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed as well during this live stream. I appreciate all your faces. Until the next time, you guys. Laters.